Hey guys, welcome back. Today, a reserve list discussion. No, we're not going to talk prices. We're going to talk about the reserve list and what happens when it does 120 mile an hour speeding along into a brick wall. That's what we're going to talk about. It's coming up next. Hey guys, welcome back. MTG Moxman here. If you're new to the channel and somehow found me out there in YouTube land, welcome aboard and thanks for tuning in to fun. I want to picture yourself in a car. And we're driving down the highway. There's a few of us in the car. And we are buying reserve list cards. We're picking one here and one there. And it's been going for years now, just slowly puttering along down the highway. But then what happens is some other people like those cards. And they get in the car with us at a gas station. And we fill up the gas tank and we're going faster now. And more cards get bought. And we go faster and more cards get bought. And we stop at our gas station and more people pile in our car. Now we're going down the highway and we're full of reserve list cards. And there's not many cards out there. And we're trying to reach out and grab the ones we can. And the car is going faster and faster and faster. And there's fewer and fewer cards, so we're going faster to try to get to them. And then in ahead, we look out there. And we see a brick wall. It's a very big brick wall. And we crash into it head on. It just comes to a stop. So now we've stopped. And we have all these reserve list cards. And you're looking at that wall. It's right in front of you. Big orange brick wall. Do you know what's on the other side of that wall? Everyone else who did not get in our car. Everyone else who wanted to get in the car. Every store that forgot to get in the car. So picture all those people on the other side of that wall. It's a lot of people. And now picture that reserve list. That card you're holding. I want you to understand something. No matter how they say it, everyone on that other side of that wall eventually is going to want your card. They're going to want to take it. They're going to want to buy it. They're going to want to have it. Now, some of this buyout we saw happened very quickly. But others have been trickling for years, slowly evaporating the market. Some of those bigger channels out there have recommended buying cards. Some of the smaller channels like myself recommended buying cards. But eventually, people were buying these cards. I warned people about certain cards to buy. Some people on my channel listened. Other people at other channels warned people, and those people listened. So we have these car full of reserve list cards, but there's only so many of us in the car. And on the other side of that brick wall, that's a lot of people. And those LGSs, they want to buy your card. But you don't want to sell. Say you needed that card for a commander deck. Let's say it's Volcanic Island. And you need that Volcanic Island. You want to hold on to it because you need one for your commander deck. You want a real one. So you have your real one. You're proud of it. And you're looking at it and it's awesome. It's not in your mint. Slightly played. You paid like $700. You were happy. And then they offer a buy list of 900. And you're looking at it. And 6 months goes by. We're still into 2021, but now it's like October. And then they put it to $1,000. Are you going to sell? Are you sure? Guess what? You're not going to sell. It's FOMO. It's the fear of missing out. You fought so hard to get that Volcanic Island that if that Volcanic Island leaves your hands, you're not getting it back. I have the same issue with Gaia's Cradle. I wanted a Gaia's Cradle bad. I waited too long because I couldn't afford it when it was like $700, $800. Now it's $1,200, $1,300. It's out of my price range. It is what it is. I can't afford it. So now I have that fear of missing out of other cards. So I've started buying individual cards I need for decks just in case. But imagine hundreds or thousands of people doing the same thing from all these different YouTube channels, from people in local towns. When you go and check, I'll use the example of the copy artifact. I warned people on my channel because I actually saw the buyout happening as it happened. Things were disappearing from eBay, boom.com, .ca, .eu. They're just gone. I went and checked my local LGS. They had 50 copies. I bought 3 because I needed my playset. So I bought 3. Heavy played, moderate played, or maybe one was slight played. But it was not too expensive. I think I spent a couple $100. They were like $50 each. But I did tell people on my Patreon, and I told people on the channel in a viewer video that this was happening. So then what happened is that 47 copies was gone in 2 days. Okay? Now, other channels probably told them the same thing, but people who watch my channel, I know a lot of people bought it because they told me they bought them and they said thank you. They hadn't jacked up their prices yet. Now, that store did catch on, and they did start raising their prices to make it harder. But they raised them like $10 here, $5 there, because they were moderately played, but they were gone. And now that they're gone, they're just out of stock. So that LGS doesn't have that card. And that happened to, I don't know, 20, 30 different cards they had. It's just gone. It's sold out. I've been looking, I've been following multiple stores here in Canada, stores in the States, they're just gone. Okay? So picture that now you're a collector. You have your cards. You're all happy. You're like, yeah, I've got my copy or 2 copies or 3 copies I needed. Maybe you just don't want to switch them between decks, whatever it may be. But you have your copies and you're happy. But the people on the other side of that wall we talked about, they still want that copy. The stores still want them so they can resell them to people who can afford them. And they want to jack that price up and make the middleman fee. But you're not selling because you need that copy. And you know if you sell, you're not getting it back. So you're holding that copy. Now, that doesn't go for every card. There are cheaper cards out there that people bought that they just needed for decks. Okay? It's still a reserve list card. You still held on to it. It happens. But that's what drives supply and demand in a marketplace for cards. Well, most things actually in real life is the supply and demand of what you need and what you want and who's willing to sell it for what price. So eventually you're going to have people really raising the price on these cards because nobody can afford them, but they still raise the price because nobody's selling, which is the worst part. So does the system collapse? No. Does it retrace? I've seen some cards retrace, but other cards that we talked about, like Volroth Stronghold, stayed very strong and are still climbing. Copy Artifact is still seeing 10 to 20 sales a day. It's still going up because some of these cards are taking longer to filter out and the price is still rising. Now, that's just us as players. Don't forget, there are investors out there. They want the near mint copies. They're the ones who want the perfection. And those are very hard to come by. And that drives the market in a whole separate direction and drives up even higher for those high-end cards. And they're going to try to get your card if you have a near mint copy. Like, oh, that one might be gradable. And they try to get you, which is what happened to all the booster boxes. The booster boxes disappeared because that's your chance to still also get near mint copies of anything. Like when we opened the Weatherlight box. If you haven't seen that opening, go check it out because that was amazing. And those are all near mint. They look packed fresh. They were crisp. I sleeved them up and put them aside. Somebody asked if I'm going to grade them. Maybe. I don't know if I like the turnaround times for that grading, though. It takes a long time. But yeah, maybe. So if I'm doing that and other people do it, there's no new product coming, which means the reserve list technically dries out. I mean, really dries out. I mean, the gas tank goes empty. And whoever can find whatever scraps of fuel, meaning reserve list cards, buys them up. Even the horrible reserve list cards at this point, I think, could be targeted. Because we've never seen a buyout like this. And I don't think prices are going to retrace that much now because nobody seems to be restocking the market. I've been watching. A few cards are trickling on and they're disappearing. And then nothing else. It's not like there's like pages and pages of any of these cards. There's like one page. There's some foreign language ones also filling up these pages. But that's not the same thing as an English card if you're trying to buy an English card because you speak English. And you want to be able to understand the card correctly. It is very, very crazy to see. I find it very interesting. I didn't expect anything like this to happen in my lifetime of Magic, right? I've been playing a long time. I never thought it would happen. I remember buying a lot of these cards cheap, but seeing it like this, and it makes me realize I'm not selling. I need the cards I have. I didn't buy that many of things other than this one. And this is not reserve list, but picture this as somebody as an investor buying this card, okay? So I have camera here. Camera 2. Yeah, my camera 2. So I want you to picture something here. Let me just open this up. I, as you guys know, I'm named MTG Moxman. That's my name because I love Mox Amber. If you want to get me a birthday present, this is the card to get me. And check this out. I mean, most people don't watch my videos this far in anyway, so I don't care. I have literally, you see it there, okay, and I got extra binders down here in the blue, and I have some green ones and stuff over there as well. So, when you see that, that's how some investors look at their cards. They're just OCD and they love the cards. They like to look at them. If I could buy every Mox Amber, I would. I would. But they got too expensive for me, so I had to cut myself off because I'm not a big whale out there. There are some very big whales who will just keep buying these cards regardless of the price just to hoard them up. Think about Alpha Investments. Think about Rudy. He buys reserve lists and he does not sell it back in. He just loves having the cards and building his wealth. Okay, if he's doing that and there's a few other people doing that, no matter what, those people are going to buy those cards up. So these prices go up. And the people behind the wall keep trying to raise their prices to buy that card. Ah, I'll pay more, I'll pay more. But nobody's selling. It is something crazy to think about, guys. So think about it. Are you going to sell if they raise that price up? I want to see those comments in the comment section below today. I'd love to have a conversation with you guys about how you feel. If somebody raised the buy list price, would you buy? Sorry. If you raise the buy list price, would you sell? That's the question. Would you sell to the market if they raise the price high enough? I'm very curious to see what people are going to say to me. All right? Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. This was MTG Moxman. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on the flip side. It's a very cold day here in Canada. Can't wait till spring comes. And again, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Have a great day today. This is where I click the button and find the stuff and say, stop! Hey guys, big shout out to all my patrons out there. Thank you so much for your continued support. You guys are amazing. And I look forward to bringing new videos the rest of the week. Remember, stay frosty because it's cold out there. Shop smart, shop as smart. Put that in the comments.